Well, with me now is the First Minister, Peter Robinson. A visionary, that's how your Finance Minister has just described you.
Well, we're a party, and we're a party of collective decisions, a party that moves forward together. The policy isn't mine, the policy is that of the party. I just have the honour of being the leader.
So given your speech this morning, is this the end of Paisleyism, the end of no surrender unionism?
It was the tremendous role of Ian Paisley that brought us to the point that we are. Unionists will always react differently. If someone is attacking them, if someone is putting their back against the wall, than if they are in a peaceful society where people are wanting to move forward. The way you react in those two situations is entirely different. Ian brought us through that difficult time. He brought us into Stormont, into leadership at Stormont. Now in these new circumstances, I believe we have an excellent opportunity of uniting the community and having a shared society.
So you talk about wanting Catholics to vote for you, but yet you make the statement about emblems. Is that not a contradiction in terms, because many Catholics would want to see reform of the prison service?
Well, with respect, I think that says more about your view of life in Northern Ireland, where you equate somebody who is Catholic as being somebody who is anti-British. And I don't believe that to be the position. And I think surveys show overwhelmingly that people are moving away from that view. The majority of the Roman Catholic community in surveys want to remain within the United Kingdom. They're happy to be part of the Union. And I want to engage those people who recognise the value of the Union to Northern Ireland, so that they can be part of this, and that we look forward working together for a better society in Northern Ireland. All of those of us who want to see the Union prosper.
So how do you see this new society operating? You wanted a commission on shared education, but in the programme for government it's a ministerial group who are going to talk about it. You're very much at odds with the Education Minister and with Sinn Féin about integrated education, fully integrated education.
Well, I don't think that's right. But even if it was so, I think the programme for government very clearly shows the direction of travel. It shows that we're taking the issue seriously, and not just in terms of the ministerial-led group, though that's vitally important, but also we have given a commitment in the programme for government that every school child will have the opportunity to be part of shared education programmes. We've given a commitment in the programme government in terms of increasing the number of shared facilities between schools of different backgrounds. So the commitment is there. I say it's not the position in terms of Sinn Féin. I saw the Deputy First Minister on a number of occasions on public platforms indicate that he agrees very much with the concept of shared education. Their difficulty, and I think the difficulty that all of us see, is that we have to move from where we are to where we would like to be, and you can't always turn the ship in any quick way to do that, and it has to be a step-by-step process. And I think the process that we have outlined in the programme for government can take us from where we are to where we want to go.
You said in your speech it's an end of the them and us, what we've had for decades in Northern Ireland, but at the same time you're saying that Ulster will never be defeated. Is there not a mixed message there?
No, well, again, I believe that the Union is vitally important for the future of Northern Ireland. We'll prosper within the Union. I think if you look at the general mess across Europe in terms of the economies of Europe, you'll see the real value of being part of a stable United Kingdom. So I don't see the dichotomy that you're directing attention to. I believe that we will never be defeated in terms of those who would try and trundle us into a united Ireland through terrorism. It just won't happen. We will resist. That's the way it has always been. We believe that democracy has to be the final determining factor as to the direction that people will want to go. And given a peaceful, democratic way forward, I believe overwhelmingly people will say we want to be part of the United Kingdom. And they'll say that both from the Protestant and Roman Catholic traditions.
What has changed you then personally from never, never, never to an end to them and us and into this shared future?
I take you back to what I said earlier. The way you react when somebody is trying to kill you, when somebody is trying to bomb you, when somebody is trying to push you where you do not want to go against the democratic will. The way you react in those circumstances is completely different from the way you react in a peaceful situation where you have stability and where you have the right to take your decisions democratically. You have the ability to persuade people, and that's the way we want to go forward. We want to convince people that the Union is the best option for them, and that's the difference between the unionism that had to stand and say no surrender because its back was against the wall. People were forcing them in a direction that they didn't want to go. And the unionism today, we're in a peaceful society where we have the confidence, we are able to reach out, we're able to encourage people to be part of the union in a peaceful democratic society.
So let's clear it up once and for all. Do you think you will be the last First Minister who's a unionist?
Well, first of all, I never said it, and I can understand how someone who isn't from Northern Ireland picks up the various elements and comes to that conclusion. We, of course, have just had an election. What happened? We increased the gap between our position and that of Sinn Féin, so we're in a stronger position today. And we will never be the last unionist First Minister if we can engage wider sections of our community in support of the union. That's what I'm wanting to do. I'm wanting to encourage those many Roman Catholics who believe the union is best suited for Northern Ireland to be part not just of accepting and acquiescing in the union, but being part of the political structures, being part of moving forward as a society together. That's the way I want to reach out.
Is there some confusion on the opposition? Because you very much said that it should go forward, there should be some sort of proper opposition, but yet Nigel Dodds was saying ineffective opposition will not help us. What exactly does the DUP want?
No, there is no difference whatsoever. What I'm saying, and I spelt it out in terms of, I don't want to have an opposition within the executive, which is what we have at the present time. There are some people who think that they can be part of the executive, but they can be the official opposition at the same time. If we are really to move forward as an executive, we have to be team players, we have to be pushing in the same direction. That's what opposition is able to confront. If they want to set up outside the executive and they have a different way forward, well, let them tell the people what it is. Let the people vote for them on that basis.
So would you support that? Because obviously they would need funding and structures in place, and it would take you and Sinn Féin to agree to that.
Well, the mechanisms are there within the Assembly. All the parties get funding in the Assembly, and I wouldn't like to think that the issue is simply down to funding. If we mature as a society, we'll want to normalise politics in Northern Ireland, and that's a proper government and a proper opposition. Now, whether it's set up on the basis of having a weighted majority or what it happens to be, ultimately, that will be a matter then for the people to decide which parties they support, and those parties then to decide which coalitions they form. So
where will the DUP be in 10 years?
Well, the Democratic Unionist Party has been stronger year on year. This is the largest conference that we've ever had. We've nearly outgrown the hotel. I'm going to ask the owner of the hotel to build an extension for next year. We had difficulty getting everybody into the hall, so we're a growing party, and importantly, we're growing in support, and I believe we've got the policies and the people to take Northern Ireland forward.
Will you still be leader?
Well, that is always a matter for the party to decide who their leader is, and it's the grace of God as to whether I'm about at all.
Peter Robinson, thanks very much
indeed.
Thank you.